Good day to Miss Nick. So our group. Hello, good day to Miss Nix. Our group's going to present regarding Samsung Group for OSHA. I will start it with introduction. First of all, Samsung is a multinational and big corporate company in Seoul, Korea. It started in 1938, which is founded by Lee Byung-chun in Sudong, and they started with a store department which include local grocery, noodles, and other goods such as foods. And also after that, they starting as a diversification, which Samsung invested in textile, insurance, food processing, and electronic. And it grew rapidly in 1960 and 1970 because during that time, Samsung are going through IT industry. Next is electronic expense, which in 1960, Samsung has entered into the electronic industry, which they invested black and white television, and it grew rapidly into all country, and all of them started using Samsung as their first product. Third is the semiconductor dominant, which Samsung has become the first dominant industry that invested and create memory chip, and they're leading in the compartment for any devices, any IT related. Also, mobile phone, which entered in 1990s, which they started as a Galaxy series, and they do compete with Apple product, which is iPhone, during the 90s to 2000, and also global coverage, which by 2000, Samsung has become the largest in Asian country, which they're globally shipping out all the electronic shipbuilding, construction, and more. Next is innovation. Samsung also the first company electronic that invested in producing LED screen or AMOLED screen, and they do distribute in their television, in their phones, in all of their electronic system. Lastly, which is the challenge. We know that Samsung has faced a lot of illegals and illegal things that happen around Korea, and outsider, which is other country, they may know regarding what in scandal that they have been through. But overall, Samsung is the one of the largest company and the richest in South Korea. So next, I will pass to definitions.
Okay, so I will be presenting on the vision and mission of Samsung. All right, so the mission statement of Samsung is we will devote our human resources and technology to create superior products and services, so thereby contributing to a better global society. And the vision statement of Samsung is to inspire the world with our innovative technologies, products, and design that enrich people's lives and contribute to social prosperity by creating a new future. Okay, so Samsung vision statement outlines its goals for the future and encourage others to pursue advancements. So the mission statement also illustrates Samsung dedications to excellence by emphasizing the tactics required to realize this vision. So the production of superior goods that have long-lasting beneficial effects on society as a crucial part of its growth ambitions. Right. So for information, the company have 5 basic values, which is integrity, excellence, change, people, and co-prosperity. So basically, for this encouragement of the company mission and vision objectives depends on each of these values. Right. So let me pass to the next.
Okay, next is safety analysis of the company. So there is 3 divisions under this topic. Firstly, we're going to see on the agronomic issues that has been found in Samsung company, which was last updated in September 2021. So there were few areas and issues found in Samsung company, even though they are tech business, but there are some some areas that need to focus on the productivity side and then employees' well-being, workspace tools and procedures. Here are the examples. Sorry, here are the list of few issues. Firstly, is poor workstation design. Due to an uncomfortable and not a proper layout, it can cause a musculoskeletal problem to the employee, which can lead to a back pain, and also it can also cause from the arrangement of the height of desk and chair, which is also a several back pain to be caused. And if the chair and the height of the desk cannot be adjusted, definitely it will cause a back pain. Second is insufficient lighting. So when the proper lighting is not supplied, it can cause the eye strain, where this employees are working on the screen and then working on any production site. If there's no proper lighting, it can definitely cause eye strain. Third is use of portable devices, like for a too long posture using laptop, computer, or any tablets, it can cause the eye strain, as I mentioned. And also for like using PC, just sitting at one place can cause a back pain as well. And for this, the Samsung staff members have complained that they need to provide or get some right accessories so that they are comfortable to use, such as like without an external keyboard, it's like quite difficult to just sit straight and using the laptop. And also without a proper mouse, it can cause a wrist strain of pain. So that's need to be highlighted as well. Fourth is limited movements due to like persons like staffs that working at office, they will be just sitting in one place and they have lack movements. It can also lead to an health issues, which is can cause also laziness and any other health issues. Next, we're moving forward to keyboard and mouse setup. So setting up the keyboard and mouse is, if it's incorrectly set up, it might cause a wrist pain or also carpal tunnel syndrome and other repetitive strain injuries. This also considers Samsung employee using a keyboard and mouse that are not ergonomically designed. Then they might need to start explore and then find any other devices or accessories that is suitable to make comfort for the staffs. And next is computers monitor placement. As I mentioned, if the arrangement of the height of desk and chair is not proper, it will cause a back pain. And the monitors also should be positioned in the right way at the right distance for preventing from eye strain. And then to make sure that the eye level and the sitting posture is accurate. And next is lack of adjustable furniture, related with the computer's monitor placement, noise and distraction. For those who's working under office, which is placed at the production side or any near to the machineries, from the background sound from the machineries can cause some frustration, some distraction for the staff to focus on their work. Even certain small sound from the machineries can cause a uncomfortable zone for certain people who like dislikes from hearing noises like very annoying. Last but not least, we have lack of training, workload, and stress. Lack of training is we need to make Samsung employee need to make sure that they are trained well, use every kind of equipment, and also at the station. If otherwise, they can get any discomfort for not using it properly, and it can cause the other staffs as well. Workload and stress due to like they have varieties of production tax and all that. They have all the workload and stress, and this kind of like heavy workloads and stress can exacerbate ergonomic problems by causing poor posture and tension. So this tension muscle in every individual's body can cause to lead several health issues. That's all for the 3 point ergonomic issues. And there's improvement workplace environment happened in Korea. So at Korea, they opened a service center, like an exercise center, which is for preventing from musculoskeletal problem. So they have invented all this exercise center, and also they have a person with medical professional to provide a one-to-one session for the staff that have any kind of problem with their health. Next, I will pass to Sheikh for Next is safeguard. Safeguard is considered like protection that Samsung company provides. They have variety of programs that done to the employees. So there's two things they focus for employees and machines. For employees, they have done healthy and safety program, which every of the employee need to know how to handle the machine system, and they have to give training rules. All this they need to follow. Second, they have employee benefits like insurance, health insurance, retirement plans, employee assistance program, and also they have wellness program, which is to encourage staff to be wealthy and healthy. And also they want to highlight that they are concerned on the employees and staff. The third one is educating and developing. So every kind of investment in training need to be developed, need to have a development initiative so that all the workers are known as advanced skilled workers. Fourth is inclusion and diversity. So Samsung encourages inclusion and diversity within the workforce, fostering a welcoming workplace where the workers are coming from different backgrounds. And then next is work-life harmony. So for those employees, they are focused, as Samsung are focusing on their well-being. So organization may providing flexible work, remote work opportunities, and then other policies that can support a healthy work-life healthy work-life balance. Next is policy against discrimination. So Samsung has practicing the procedure in the workplace to stop harassment, discrimination, and retribution at work to create the welcoming environment for the newcomers and the existing staffs. Last but not least, we have chemicals for channels for conflict resolutions. This is to ensure that complaints, disagreements, and any ethical concerns to be resolved internally, and Samsung offers avenues for employees to report them. And for machine-wise, they're focusing on the quality control, product evaluation, warranty and assistance, security precautions, environmental-related issues, user security, and regularity comforting. So all these, they're focusing on machines so that first, they don't want any data to be leaked out or getting hacked. Second is they want to make sure that the product they produce are making a good performance and it's very worthy to use for the consumers. Third, they have warranties so that their performance of their tags or products are being an error or have found. The consumers have still warranty to come and change it. And last, I can say that they have precautions as well to be labeled that any hazardous or if it requires any preventing from the tags are being overheating, they have certain symbols, hazard symbols to be labeled at that. And they have also a specialized person to test the quality control of the products and tags. Next is 3.3. I'll pass to Sheikh.
So for the EMS, Environmental Management System, that Samsung has done. So in 2004, Samsung has tried to minimize the usage of the environmental hazardous element in their products, so that it meet the environmental standards in that year because of the strict law and regulation during that year. And during that year also, Samsung has improved their core principle, which they place a high value on environmental responsibility and try to guide to more proactive approach. So Samsung has assessed their suppliers and make sure they has using its eco partner certification system to make sure that the company component and goods are free from toxic material, meaning that each of their supplier or their goods needs to be toxic free material so that it will not affect the environment when the user use it. So there has been filtering all their stocks and goods using this certification. So other than that, in 2004 also, Samsung has created transformed from environmental analysis lab in 2004 into the Eco Life Lab, which has more advanced tool, and especially as it's specialized in chambers for other study, which mean the what we call that smell pollution, something like that. So number four is a strict chemical guideline followed from purchase to disposal according to law. So Samsung has made a guideline from the day purchase. For example, like I said before, it has a certification system when it purchases their goods until the disposal. They make sure that the item, things that have that use a chemical or will affect the environment have a strict guideline so that it will not affect it or will not be thrown away just like that and affect the environment. So the last one is Samsung focus more on conservative biodiversity and ecosystem for healthy environment. So basically, Samsung is actually there's a lot of movement actually that Samsung did, such as they changed their product, or you call that material, and so on, so that it meets the criteria since 2004, since the movement began. So the next part I will pass to
El, you mute your Elia. I cannot.
So related to accident cases in Samsung, which is related to leukemia and brain tumor, on November 29, 2018, Samsung Electronics has apologized for certain employees regarding the illness and that are in the industry of computer chips and display facility. And Samsung also willing to pay the damage up to 150 million Korean won as a resulting because of they careless of did not and complete the manage to potential health risks at the chip station and liquid crystal display that are producing in the production line. According to the group supporter representing as a health and rights of people in the semiconductor industry, which is Sharp. Sharp is the one of the group that make this issue become bigger because they have been through the same situation, and also the CEO itself, the former Huang Sang-ki, who lost his own daughter to leukemia in 2007 when she was working on Samsung chip fabric line. It caused a very very bad reputation to Samsung because many that have happened during this situation, and it goes through the illness such as brain tumor and leukemia. Employees also encounter miscarriage, giving birth to special child. With this, Sharp wants that Samsung to be more careful and invested in OSHA to make sure all of the production lines are being well, make sure they are following the law standard and guidelines that have been produced by OSHA. Next, I will pass to Amira.
Okay, so for information, Samsung Electronic to receive ISO 4000. So after creating the quality management system, which is QMS in 1993, to raise customer certification and product quality, Samsung Electronic received ISO 9001 accreditation. So since then, they have worked to continuously improve their processes by establishing standardized quality management procedures for product development, for product development and as well for component purchasing, production, and services. All right. Okay. So, for information, ISO 4000 is actually a family of standards for quality management system to make sure that they have meeting the needs of their customers and other stakeholders. So these criteria are now essential for any businesses engaged in international trades. Right. So the importance of ISO emphasize on social responsibility, including sustainability and accessibility. So as per stated as a CEO, he works to make sure that Samsung fulfill its social obligation and advances of humanity and the environment as well. Right. We pass to the next slide.
So this one is actually part B. Is the introduction of stress. So workplace stress is not is actually a common issues that happen to workers or employees to a lot of company because of the personal problem, heavy workload, and etc. Lack of support and a lot of push to meet the deadline. So because of this, it reduced low job satisfaction, and it also reduced the workers' productivity. This kind of problem affected the organization in a lot of ways, such as the company's effectiveness will be reduced, and etc. So the organization needs to give a lot of support to their workers, so that such as encourage the open communication and implemented assistance and also a few programs to help them with this issue. So the next part.
All right, so I will be presenting on the stress issues at the workplace. So as per stated by Shay, stress is actually common in the workplace. So there are various of reasons of how can stress happens or occur in the workplace. So first of all, the first one will be flexible remote work. Basically, let's say if the company did not implement a flexible working arrangement, this is how the stress can occur. So basically what the company can do, they can provide 3 remote working days per week. For example, like on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, they can work from home. And then for other day, they can work at the office. Okay, so for the second point would be lack of privacy to take a break. So basically what can the company do is provide a room where their employees can use it when they need to take a break after long hours of working. For example, let's say if the employee need to take a quick nap during lunch hour, like 5 to 10 minutes. So what can the company do is provide a place called nap pod for them to take a rest for a while. Okay, so for the third point would be lack of connection. Right. So as you know that it is very important for the company to actually provide any special events so that the other employees can create bonding with each other, and from there they can create possible friendships, right? So for the next point will be lack of supporting system. Okay, so in this part, employers should have the common sense and important role to be the supporting system for the team. Basically, let's say if the okay, so for the last point will be improper training plans. So over here, the employers need to identify what kind of trainings that the employees can attend, to enhance their skills. So it is very important for the company to provide any essential trainings that the employees can attend to make sure or to develop their skills in their work, right? So I will pass next slide.
So for promoting strategy to reduce the stress, first we can suggest to provide flexible working hours and also work from home, which example 2 days in office, 3 days in houses, or maybe flexible hour which is started. Make sure they are doing for 9 or 8 hours every day. It's easy for everybody since people have their own personal and want to reduce the stress. Second will be build social interaction. This one I can say that is a HR job to make sure all departments are together to make a social interaction. Since in workplace they need to have a talk, they need to have a chill to reduce the stress. Third one is the supportive environment. This one can be said as a employees itself, which department they need to create the atmosphere or environment that are welcoming to the newcomers or maybe to interns. So I will pass to Y. Next slide.
Okay.
Next.
Next is effective ways to encourage healthy competition in the workplace. Firstly is to set up goals and tasks to gamify. So this kind of leadership board is to be need to be maintained so that they can track their progression on the project and any task. Second thing is team challenges. Need to have few teams and then also a team lead to see the progress. And each team can compete each other to settle the task and can see which other team doing the best with the teamwork, cooperation, and then to be a successful. Third one, we can say that to improve awards for professional development. So for those who have achieved and then making KPIs every month, and then those who are focusing on career growth, employees need to continuously look into that and then try to give or approach them for the professional improvement, and then making a workshop and then make them to attend a workshop, obtaining certificates, and then also to be given any rewards and incentives. So this can motivate the staff and then other staff to also be encouraged and work in a healthy place. So next I will pass to Shay. Sorry, next I will pass. Okay. Sorry, that's all from us about the Samsung company, and this all are we found from what we have included from the stress of Samsung company. So that's it. Thank you, and yeah, that's all from.